Vandana Shiva will say, when you control seed, you control food. The seed has been a debate, the GMO, the hybrid, and also the discussions that are happening in the internet is that they are similar. Welcome to the Soil Inventory Talk Show. My name is Grace Roiro, a farmer and an agronomist. I'm so glad that you had time and chance to be here with me today to do this video. So I was taking rounds around this demo area that we have where we were doing tomatoes. And I've documented this before. Why we were doing tomatoes in this small space is that we wanted to see how well will it do in this environment. But of course, we have already also modified the environment by having this structure. And so far, so good. I was just going around and just saying how much we are affected by blight, but we are doing well and we are taking measures, and also just seeing how production is coming along. So, and a thought dropped in my mind about the discussions that have been going on and around the internet, and people just discussing about, and also around with among the farmers, the GMOs and the hybrids, and is there a difference? And I thought, why would I not just address this in a layman's way where we would understand and just get to know the differences. So I hope you learn a thing or two or totally enjoy this video. Let's have a sit down and discuss this. Finally, a sit down here, and I think now I want to put it in layman's and very simply, the GMO and the hybrids. I have seen discussions, as earlier I would have said in my introduction, that they are put in the same category, the hybrids, the GMOs, and I would want to maybe bring some light onto it. So the GMOs are genetically modified organisms. That means, as even the word will say, there is the genetic interference, and I want to use an actual example so that I will not get into the science of it. So first I'll give an example of the BT maize. We have had BT cotton in this country that has been released for benefit that the farmers would cultivate, but allow me to just explain a little bit of it. So BT maize or BT cotton, BT maize, BT stands for Bacillus thuringiensis. This is a bacterium, a gram-positive bacterium that is in the environment of the soil. And then the genetic trait of interest from this bacterium is picked and introduced into the genetic of the maize through molecular techniques. And when it's introduced, its aim is, for example, the BT maize, the target would be the Lepidopteras, forgive me the names, larvae. This is the control bollworms, and this is the stage that is the most destructive in the maize crop. That reduces the productivity. You'll have to invest in insecticide, but this is the most destructive, that when the maize are attacked by the worms that attack the maize, it is this stage that is most destructive. And this is what the development of BT maize targets, specifically that stage that is destructive and causes its mortality. There's a science bit of it, how it causes its mortality. So the development of some of these organisms, I'm using maize because I'm an agronomist and my interests are crops, but also we have genetically modified organisms that are also animals. So this means there's a totally new gene that is introduced to that specific crop, but the aim is to improve productivity. The aim is maybe to reduce, like for example in this situation, reduce the use of insecticide. And now going into the hybrid. The hybrid is where we use two similar, same plant, but different varieties to improve. Like for example, I'll use the same maize example. Maybe we have maize that takes a shorter duration of time, and we have maize that takes longer duration of time, but its productivity yields much better. And we'll want to cross-pollinate, or rather to bring this together to give us, there are whole steps that comes to a development of a hybrid seed, but I'm just giving it as a summary. To bring this together and maybe choose the superior plants, so that I would have a plant, or rather a seed, that has traits of maybe shortened duration, but also still yields. And that will be the hybrid. And that means the hybrid, one of the things that has not happened, there's no introduction of new gene, but also the genetic makeup stays intact if I'm correct saying that. And also majorly happens in the field, unlike this other that it's in the laboratory first, or the molecular techniques that we'll say about. But both, when they are produced, the aim is to improve productivity, or rather to control pests and diseases. Some of the hybrids are developed to be tolerant to diseases and pests. Tolerance means that they can hold for sometimes, or rather resistant. So the hybrids are not the GMOs. Hybrids are improved crops of the same, I would say the same crop, but maybe different varieties just being brought together to come up with maybe a superior or a better producing or a better product compared to the GMO. I hope I'll have this discussion very soon and get into the science bit of it, but that will be my layman's kind of explanation, and have a scientist here, an agronomist myself, and just have this discussion. And plant breeder, I hope to do this soon so that we'll get to know more and also just get enlightened when we're talking about the seeds. When we're talking about the GMO, what are the GMOs? What are the hybrids? Are they similar? No. But that will be in my simple. Allow me to close by saying, as we produce food in the field, we use so much chemicals. And some of these chemicals, like the insecticides, are non-selective. They don't select the specific target. They will kill the target insect that is, or rather pest that is targeted, but also kill others that were not targeted. That means it's a harm to the ecosystem. When you think about it, the insecticide and the chemicals that we use at the field, it's harm to our soils, but also to our health. On the other hand, when we think of the improvements that happen of the GMOs, we'll see it's a positive, by saying maybe we have reduced the use of the same insecticide and maybe less soil pollution. Do we know the harm to the human health? We're yet to see, or rather, we are yet to have findings or facts from scientists, even as they continue their research. On the other side, the hybrids improve productivity. But hybrids, being a simple term, as we have already seen, is just two plants, the same plants, but different varieties, just being brought together so that we'll have a better seed. So just thinking about the world of production, when I think about the GMO compared to the many chemicals that we use, there's a lot of harm still going on. We may not make a lot of noise about the chemicals, and now we would be shifting and preferring production of more organic foods. But truth be told, we're still using them. Do we need them? Yes, we need them, because we still need to produce food, because when we say we'll not use them, production might go down, the farmer might suffer, but also food might be unavailable. Considering our country is still very food insecure, but we need to use these safe methods, but we need also to explore the scientific things. So that would be my layman's just explanation. I'm also learning, as an agronomist. But I hope you learned something and you got some of the differences. Till next time, remember to stay blessed and productive. Bye-bye.